Let us start the first lesson of this new section, in which we're going to talk about the Ethernet basics, collision domain, and the broadcast domain. Now, first of all, before we move ahead with the Ethernet basics, you need to understand the definition of Ethernet. You have heard this term many times, but you don't have any idea of what this term actually is. If you know what Ethernet is, you can skip the first couple of minutes to move on to collision domain. Well, what is Ethernet? Ethernet is a contention media access method that allows all the hosts on the network to share the same bandwidth of a link. Ethernet is popular because it's readily scalable, meaning that it's comparatively easier to integrate a new technology, for example, fast Ethernet and gigabit Ethernet, into an existing network infrastructure. It's also relatively simple to implement in the first place, and with it, troubleshooting is reasonably straightforward. Ethernet uses both data link and physical layer specifications, and this part of the section will give you both the data link layer and the physical layer information. In the upcoming sections, I'll also cover some basic terms used in networking with Ethernet technologies. Now let us start with collision domain. Collision domain. The term collision domain is an Ethernet term that refers to a particular network scenario wherein one device sends a packet on a network segment and thereby forces every other device on that same physical network segment to pay attention to it. This is bad because if two devices on one physical segment transmit at the same time, a collision event can occur. Now you must have a question, what is collision event? Well, a collision event is a situation where each device's signals interfere with another on the wire, which means no one can transmit or receive the same packet. Collisions have dramatically negative effect on the network performance, so they are definitely something we want to avoid. The situation I just described is typically found in a hub environment where each host segment connects to a hub that represents only one collision domain and one broadcast domain. This begs the question, now what is a broadcast domain? Well, here's the answer. Now listen to it very carefully. A broadcast domain refers to the set of all devices on the network segment that hear the broadcast sent on that segment. For example, if you have a group of 5 friends and you want all of the 5 friends are engaged in a WhatsApp group. So when you send a message to that single particular group, each and every of the other 4 members receives that message. So in short, that message acts as a broadcast message. Even though a broadcast is typically a boundary delimited by physical media like switches and repeaters, it can also reference a logical division of a network segment. Well, that's the basic story, but rest assured I will be delving deeper into the skinny of collision domain and broadcast domain in a bit, that is the section 5 of this wonderful course, that is the networking devices.